An Uchiha who is able to absorb the 10 tails and the divine tree itself. Such a representative of one of the strongest clans exists, but only in the Naruto and Akatsuki story. Let's talk about him. Enjoy watching. Uchiha Tan is one of the 10 guardians, but more often they are called the true Uchiha, or the 10 pillars. He received his power from Sasano Uchiha, the first of his kind, the creator of the Uchiha clan, and who was called God for many years until he was sealed and erased from the history of not only the shinobi world, but also from the memories of all people living on Earth. Sasano was the son of Indra, who was experimented on while still in the womb, due to which the boy received a unique power and was born with the true Sharingan. In the future, he was able to take away or give anyone with Uchiha genes any ability by affecting them with his Sharingan. But because of his cruelty, the clan members united and decided to seal him in an artificial dimension, since they could not defeat him. Asking for help from the strongest Uzumaki, the Uchiha prepared a resting place for the one who was considered God. They almost succeeded, but before the door of space was sealed, Sasano took away the memories of his clan with his power and made it so that those who want to get the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan could do this only by taking the eyes of their next of kin. After that, everyone forgot about his existence, as well as the 10 pillars that remained in the same dimension, holding the chains that bound their leader. Then, this character returned, but that's a completely different story. Tan was one of those who betrayed Sasano, but before that, he was his faithful subordinate. As well as about the 10 pillars that remained in the same dimension, holding the chains that bound their leader. Long before being sealed, Sasano was interested in the power of his grandmother, Kaguya Otsutsuki. He learned about the 10 tails and about the divine tree, after which he began to consider himself God and the savior of the earth. He selected 11 of the best members of his clan and bestowed on them unique abilities that were supposed to help him become a true god and those who would someday absorb the Otsutsuki. At their head, Sasano placed an Uchiha who was granted the power to transform his body into a serpentine dragon of incredible proportions. And the other of them, the right hand of the leader of the pillars, was granted the ability to suck chakra from everything and transform it into anything. In those days, all members of the clan had to prove to their leader that they were capable of something. All of them were required to pass tests. Only after that, they became full members of the Uchiha. Those who failed to do so were stripped of their power and memories of being part of their clan, after which their genes ceased to carry the Sharingan. One of those who lost the Uchiha name was Tan's older brother, a budding due to his unique eye power, with the ability to transform his body into an element for a while. However, despite this, he still could not pass the test. What made his younger brother worry? Tan, whose Mangekyo Sharingan had the unique gift of adaptation, could force his body to adapt to any poison or even attack, only to the one in which there was a chakra. However, these eyes had a limit one adaptation at a time, and switching between them took a minute. Thus, if Tan's enemy used the element of fire, then the guy, thanks to his Sharingan, could make sure that the flames did not burn him. But if the enemy immediately began to use another element, water or wind, then he could already inflict a physical attack, and Tan could not switch to another adaptation for a whole minute. Thanks to this ability, the guy hoped to pass the tests that Sasano arranges and become a full-fledged Uchiha. But after his brother, with his strength, could not do it and lost everything, the 16-year-old Tan was frightened, and this fear prevented him from passing the test. This meant that he would be taken to the Uchiha leader, who would take away the power of his Sharingan, along with all his memories. The guy saw what happened to his brother, who lost everything, and he did not want to repeat his fate. Therefore, on the way to Sasano's manor, Tan killed the guards and fled. The leader of the clan could not afford someone with the Sharingan to wander outside his settlement without any control, so Uchiha Shizu, the head of the elite guards, who was able to turn into a serpentine dragon, was sent to search for the boy. It was not difficult for him to find Tan, who was hiding in one of the nearby villages. There was a verbal skirmish between the clan members, where Shizu said that the boy would be executed for his actions. This angered Tan. He did not want to lose his strength, and even more so his life, so he tried to attack him. However, he received only 2 cuts on his forehead and ridicule. But thanks to his cunning, the boy was able to take his opponent's eye. Using his Sharingan, he forced the body to adapt, and one of the paresis on his forehead was transformed into an eye socket, where he inserted Shizu's eye, which helped Tan to use the power of his enemy. And thanks to what he finally defeated him, Sasano instantly knew about the defeat, so he sent another subordinate who could suck out chakra. He was supposed to bring the boy back to be punished for betraying the clan. At this time, Tan was halfway to leaving the country, but a second clan member stood in front of him, and the guy had to fight again. Thanks to the new Sharingan, he managed to injure his opponent, and the power of his Mangekyo allowed him to temporarily gain immunity to chakra absorption, and the guy was able to take the eye of his second opponent. With it he did the same as with the eye of Shizu. After forcing his body to adapt, he turned his second scar on his forehead into an eye socket, where he placed the new Sharingan. With the acquired power, he sucked out all the chakra of the enemy, draining him completely. Thanks to the new eyes, Tan could switch between his acquired and his powers. However, unfortunately, he couldn't use all of them at the same time. His adaptation did not allow him to acquire the full power of those eyes, but the guy understood that Saishano would not let him go, and again he would send someone after him. Therefore, he decided to destroy the leader, and turning into a giant serpentine dragon, he went to the estate of their named god. Arriving at the place, the guy tried to destroy everything, soaring in the sky. However, in a second, he was lying on the ground all wounded and defeated, and above his head stood the strongest of the Uchiha. Punishment of the gods, that's what he called himself. The first and true one, Saishano Uchiha. Tan could not understand what had happened, but he realized that he was no match for the leader, so he prepared to die by his hand. However, Saishano simply chuckled, saying that the boy showed his best and even managed to take the eyes of his clan members and also use their power. As a reward for this, an honorable place awaits him as one of the guardians, one of the pillars of the new world. The spoken words struck the boy, and he could not utter a word before the greatness of the master. Saishano looked into his eyes and said that he would grant him the power of evolution, which would allow him to use the stolen Sharingans without any limits, and, in the future, only become stronger and acquire useful skills. Since then, Tan has become one of the strongest already in the top 10 Uchiha. Due to his adaptability and gift of evolution, he was able to combine his abilities with the eyes he received, and in his serpentine dragon form, he was able to absorb the chakra of nature, shinobis, and even tailed beasts. In the future, after Saishano's revival, the Tan returned from the ceiling, where Tan acquired the ability to absorb the tree and become one himself. This character, as well as Uchiha Saishano, as well as Senshi Otsutsuki, are my fan characters from my fictional plot Naruto and Akatsuki. In this video, a lot was missed, both about Saishano himself and Ten. This is because their story is very long. The story of Saishano alone can take several hours. Therefore, if you like this format where I talk about my characters, write about it in the comments, and I will make such videos more often. Good luck to all.